We have our next speaker, who is our student, Joshua, to tell us a little bit about his experience and what his role is as a dietetic intern.
Yeah, thanks, Rebecca. Hi, everyone. As mentioned, I'm Joshua Ho. I'm currently going through my dietetic internship at UChicago Ingalls Memorial. And Rebecca, you can go to the next slide. Like many of you, I share a passion for public policy and the idealistic future that it can create. And luckily enough, I was chosen to be the student intern here on the Public Policy Committee with Illinois Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. And for any of those of you that have just gone through match, congrats. If you matched, if not, keep pushing. It's worth it. I'm telling you, it'll be all good in the end. And if any of you are staying in the Illinois area for your dietetic internship, I highly recommend you guys apply for the Pathways to Leadership program. And that's what I'm currently doing right now. So, and like mentioned before, I'm a student. I am from Franklin, Tennessee. So for those of you from the South, shout out to you guys. And also my interests are in nutrition and climate sustainability. So if you guys can see, there's a QR code there. I'm actually going to be speaking about this Saturday. So if any of you are interested, you can go ahead and scan that QR code. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are interested, what exactly am I doing on this panel? What are my responsibilities and experiences I've been able to receive so far in my internship? And so I'll say my primary experience is through integration into the committee through monthly meetings. So as mentioned before, these meetings include bill monitoring, event coordination, and just discussing contemporary policies. And if you're selected, you'll be lucky enough to learn from experienced individuals, such as the ones here today. And they're all very willing to provide learning experiences and opportunities. And I'll share with you all a couple of projects I was assigned to. So Rebecca, on the next slide, you guys can see, well, I guess to preface, like our two distinguished lobbyists just spoke about, it's pertinent to maintain good relations with those in office to collaborate on effectively developing policies that fit to our public's health. And so I was tasked with the responsibility to facilitate establishing these new relationships with representatives that recently assumed office in the 2023 midterm elections. And these included the U.S. and Illinois State House and Senate electives. And I did this by researching and informing the committee on who exactly were the new elects, and as well as the most efficient way to communicate with them through their district and capital addresses. And so this way, right as these new representatives step into office, one of the first and many congratulations they receive is from the Academy. And this was just to help us ensure that we can develop a good rapport with the elects in office. So right here is just a visual, just to give you an idea of what I was looking for. And however, I wouldn't use this website, I'd use a government institute website if you're going to conduct your own personal research. This was just a visual for you guys. And so on the next slide, a second project I was directed towards was to create a document that consolidates updated Illinois state federal licensure citations in relation to just the legislations and regulations that impact RDs and registered dietetic technicians. And this is to provide the committee with another source of updated policies. And so for any dietetic professional to have an impact on policy, awareness of the current regulations impacting the profession it's vital. So if you're informed on the areas of the profession requiring innovation and change, then you'll know where to move on from. And so this is actually a project that I'm currently working on. And so with that being said, those were just a couple projects that I was able to have an imprint on. But overall, being a part of this committee really teaches you what it takes for a state organization like the Illinois Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics to really establish a voice in the policies that determine the direction of our profession. And it really takes a team of established roles like you've been able to learn about today. And as an intern, it's really just your job to try and jump in and help out on any projects that need an extra hand. And on the next slide, that's really what I want to emphasize as students and young professionals when it comes to nutrition and dietetics public policy. You know, we're going to be the future of this profession, and it's really going to go as far as we're going to take it. So the most important thing that we can do as the incumbent generation is to stay informed, stay involved, and stay vocal. So to stay informed, one way is to take advantage of the resources on the Academy's website through action alerts, like maybe Amy talked about before, because they allow us to just bring the Academy's policy issues to attention to members of Congress and help us raise awareness, adding any sort of legitimacy to the issues that we believe in. And you can share your view with elected officials and advocate for nutrition policies that you're passionate about. And so these alerts, they're announced each week, and they're shared through social media, through email, and through Eat Right Weekly. And also on the Academy's website, on the next slide, there's also a state legislative tracking map. And it's a map that you can just be aware about. It allows you to track active bills and the status of bills and actions taken by legislators. And just as important as staying informed is staying involved. And an avenue to stay involved is joining affinity groups. So on the following slide, you can connect with other Academy members. So that's the map that you guys can see. That's just an example. But so some affinity groups are just groups that meet together every single week. They're forum based, and they have Academy members, staff members, policy leaders, and members. They all come together about certain issues. So they're different groups. So one for these are just some examples. One's for M&T expansion, nutrition security, licensure, dietary guidelines, and reimbursements. So you're able to connect with these other members, and you guys can all come together, discuss personal experiences and just other methods of effective advocacy. And so after staying informed and involved through these two different avenues that I just shared with you guys, one thing that's echoed throughout this event, and really what's most important, is just having a voice and being willing to share your views, especially with members of your community and local Congress members, because in order to have policies that don't discriminate and serve all members of the public, we really need to have diverse viewpoints from a wide range of perspectives. And with all this being said, these are just some ways that like I mentioned before, I'm going to stay active. And if all of you are passionate about the field of nutrition and dietetics, if you're passionate about keeping the profession protected, robust, and just having a reserved seat at the medical team's table, and really passionate about assuring the public receiving adequate access and resources to proper nutrition, again, first, try and stay informed. Try and stay informed through these online resources, and stay involved through whether it could be voting, joining the affinity groups, volunteering, and the aforementioned ANPAC. This way, you'll be able to stay aware of current policies in place and the people actively working already, such as this Public Policy Committee. And with this awareness, if you see any policy area needing change and innovation, the most important last step is just to stay vocal in your community and contact your local representatives. As we all know, nutrition is constantly changing scientifically. I know all you guys are probably bogged down in your research study presentations you guys probably have to give pretty soon. And it's really just up to us to make sure that modern policy and licensure can accompany it. So yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks for listening and attending today. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Joshua. That was wonderful. Great to hear all your experiences and all the work that you've done this year for us